What's going on, everybody? Today I'm bringing you episode 21 of the OSA Journey of Being an Athlete Again. This one took a little bit longer after episode 20. Just a couple, I had a couple big events. My brother got married. Then I had my end of the school year. I had fun and field day, so I had a lot of planning with that. But I'm happy to get this video back out to you guys. And with summer, I'm going to be ramping up my sprinting a whole lot more. I'm going to be jumping a whole lot more. Stuff that I should be doing as an athlete, or what you guys should be doing as an athlete. Before we get into the video, just go check out my boy Terrell Horton, instrumental music for my content. He does amazing work. His Instagram is @_OhNoSetGo! Go check him out. Let's get right into the video. Alright, so with week 7, I started with falling sprints. So I'm just leaning forward, and then as soon as I get to a good angle where I'm falling, I step and I accelerate. I did 4 each leg, so I did 8 total sprints here. I did 4 with the left, 4 with the right. And I'm trying to drive, and then come up again. I need to work better on the end of the sprint here, where I'm breaking down. But this is gonna work that acceleration. Like I said, you're gonna fall, and then as soon as you fall, your leg's gonna go out and push off and help you accelerate much faster. I'd like to see more of the drive phase a little bit longer here. Again, the falling sprint, I just need to make the driving phase a lot longer. So for week 7, this is 90% of the max. So this was a 3x3, 90%. So I did 330 here with the straight bar deadlift. So 3 sets, 3 reps, 330 pounds. I then went into 2 sets of 3 here, which was 295 with a 4-second eccentric hold, 80%. I only got 2 reps in and actually failed there, so that's I want to show you guys the failures as well. I then went into pins, which was 365 for 5x2, so I shortened the range of motion. I then went into my first accessory lift, which was 1-arm dumbbell row. I did 60s here. I did 4x10 each arm, just trying to get a full stretch all the way up, all the way down. Next accessory, I just went into the chin-ups. This was also 4 sets of 10 reps. I got 10 reps here. I'd like to go a little bit more down, get those arms more straight, so I'm getting a full rep. Third accessory, just a good old banded face pull. This is 4 sets, 10 reps. This is with the green band here, aiming for the forehead. Then I had prone cobra, which was 3 sets, 30-second rounds. So then for day 2, I did a squat hold, just an isometric here for a 2-minute hold. I did 2 breaks. I'd like to beat that. I then went into the oscillatory squat jumps, so almost like a pulse here. I'm just trying to jump, but I'm jumping with the ankles primarily here. I'm staying in a good squat position. I did 4 sets of 10 reps, and I'm keeping that squat, and I'm trying to just use my ankles to jump up and explode. Again, this is almost like a pulse. I'm just staying within that. It's almost, the mind trying to make these muscles activate faster and primarily activate the ankles. So just trying to connect that mind to the muscles, sending the signals as you can train that. Using your brain to send that signal down to those muscles to activate. So then I went into some linear pogos. This is 2 sets, 10 yards. Again, I'm going into plantar flexion, and then on my way up, when I explode with my ankles, I'm going into dorsiflexion. So this was 2 sets, 10 yards. The knees aren't bending as I'm jumping. They are bending a little bit with the landing, but to get up, to explode up, no knee bends, primarily using the ankles. I then went into a linear alternating pogo, which is 2 sets, 10 yards. I'm just alternating, popping up with each leg as high as I can. Again, keeping those legs straight, primarily focusing on the ankles here to get more bounce. And then I did 2 sets, hands on the hips, trying to eliminate any arm action here, because again, the focus is trying to explode with the ankles, limit the knee bend as much as I can. Then I went into single leg pogos. I did 1 set, 10 yards. This one is definitely one of the harder ones, so I recommend just doing 1 set, as I'm keeping that leg straight, dorsiflexion on the way, or plantar flexion when I land, and then when I explode, I'm trying to get into dorsiflexion, which is when the foot is pointed up, plantar, planting into the ground, so plantar. And again, that was 1 set each leg, 10 yards. And so to finish, I wanted to finish with a lot of jumps here, so I did squat jumps. I did 4 sets, 10 jumps each round, so a lot of jumping here, trying to reach the backboard. No step, so primarily just going into a squat, jumping up, aiming for that backboard. Didn't get it as much as I want. There's a little bit of a conditioning factor here as I'm just going rapid fire 10 jumps. So those first couple, I'm getting up higher, and then as I go and get more tired, not as high. So, I'll just stop talking now and wait until we get to the next part, and you can just watch the progress and me jumping trying to touch the backboard. Alright, so for the main lift, I went into bench press. This was 3 sets of 3 reps, 90% of the max. This was 205 here. Felt pretty good. Then I went into the isometric, so I did 2 sets of 3 reps, 80%. This was 180, so I'm doing a 4-second pause at the bottom, but again, I'm hovering the chest. I'm not resting it on the chest. I need to be using an isometric here. I then went into board press, which was 5 sets, 2 reps. I did 215 here with the second smallest board I got, and starting to rep 215. All right, and then I went into my first accessory, dumbbell bench, 4 sets, 10 reps. I started with 65s for the first 2 rounds, and then I actually had to go down to 60s for the last 2 rounds. Then I went into incline dumbbell bench. Again, I'm keeping those dumbbells pressed together, both the top and the bottom. Need to touch the top part of my chest and the bottom. This is 4 sets, 10 reps. I had to go down to 30s here because the chest was dead. Then I went into an incline chest fly here, 4 sets, 10 reps, 15 pounds here. Again, I'm just going for a good stretch here at the pec, not trying to throw a bunch of weight here. Then laying leg raises, 3 sets of 20, wasn't able to film it. For my day 3, I actually just went on a walk with my wife, just enjoyed the day, the beautiful weather we had, and we got our walk in. So for day 3 lift, I actually did some front squat. This was 3 sets of 3, 90% of the max, so this was 195. Front squat out of, my first program was the one that I didn't think improved as much. I'm definitely already have improved with this new program with front squat. I went into 2 sets of 3, 80%, 4-second isometric at the bottom. I did 170 here. Again, I've really dialed in on strengthening the lower back, which is where I felt weak with the front squat, and so a lot of these exercises that I have focused with the lower back has made tremendous growth with my front squat. I then went into pins, so just a quarter squat here, 5 sets, 2 reps, 225. Then went into the first accessory. This was 4 sets, 10 reps each leg, Bulgarian split squat. I started with 50s for the first round. Then I had to go down to 40s for the last 3 rounds. This was killer, really activating those quads, vastus medalis, great exercise here. Then I went into good mornings, trying to get a good stretch on that lower back, an area where I said, I've really grown and strengthening. This was 4 sets, 10 reps. I actually did the bar plus 10 on each side, so 65 pounds here, trying to focus on strengthening that lower back. I then went into Nordic hamstring curls, 4 sets, 10 reps. I did 1 set here, and the hamstrings and the lower back were feeling it. I actually wasn't able to get all 4 sets. Again, I'm going to talk about my failures, areas where I can grow. At this point in the workout, I was fatigued, wasn't able to get the rest of those done. I then went into the banded press here, 3 sets, 10 reps each side. I'm using the purple band, so I'm a little further out, and I'm pressing the band straight out. That band's going to try and pull me back in, and you're going to have to activate the obliques, the core here to tighten up and not let that band pull you. And so then for day 4, again, I played spike ball for my brother's wedding. You know, we played that all day before the wedding, so I didn't get any of that filmed. But for my main lift for day 4, I did overhead press here, 3 sets of 3, 90%. This was 130. Then I went into 2 sets of 3, 80% max. This was 115. I actually had to adjust the numbers. 120 was gonna be too much. I went 115 here, and at a 4-second isometric at the bottom. And then, like I said, that was 2 sets, 3 reps. I wasn't able to do the pins. You know, that's probably one of the weaker areas I'm noticing in this new program for me. I went into lateral raises, 4 sets, 10 reps here, 20-pound dumbbells, keeping the arms slightly bent to activate more delts. Then I went into the YTWs, so 4 sets, 10 reps. I used 10s here, so I'm making a Y 10 times, going out to the side for T's 10 times, and then I'm doing W's 10 times to finish. That's 4 rounds. Then I had dumbbell shrug. This was 4 sets, 10 reps. Used 65s here. Definitely getting stronger with my traps. I can definitely see a difference since starting this program. And then to finish, weighted sit-ups. This is going to be 3 sets, 20 reps. I used a 25-pound plate here, sorry. And guys, this is the end of my week 7. Going to get you week 8 here soon, and that is a deload week. I'll see you guys in the next one.